Okay, so in the last class I was talking about transformation of equations and we are doing transformation in general. So today I'll do one more sum based on transformation and then I'll go to a new topic. Okay, I've done enough questions. I'll do one last question based on the transformations and then we'll go to a new question. So this question we'll be doing. The question is solve the equation x to the power 4 minus 4x cube minus 4x square minus 4x minus 5. You have to solve this equation given that two roots alpha and beta are connected by the relation so this is another important sum, okay? Relation 2 alpha plus beta equals to 3. So this is one of the most important questions based on transformation of equations. See, what is the question? You have to solve this equation, but what hints they have given to solve? Given that two roots alpha and beta are connected by this relation. So suppose this has root alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and alpha and beta will satisfy this relation. And you have to solve the value for alpha, beta, gamma, and delta, basically. That is the meaning of solving the equation. See, if the equation were of degree 3, then this sum could have been easily solved using the relation between roots and coefficients. Because it is of degree 4, you may also try by solving it using relation between roots and coefficients, but that will take a lot of time and the complications will be more there. You may try it out though. So let's see what I'll be doing. Hold on. Yeah, so what I'll be doing is this. The relation is so I'll write this relation as 2 alpha equals to 3 minus beta. Okay, because this is same as writing this. Now what I'll do, I'll find the equation whose roots are twice the root of this equation. That means 2 alpha, 2 beta, 2 gamma, 2 delta. And I'll find the equation whose roots are of the form 3 minus beta. Okay, so simply look here. I will find the equation whose roots are double the roots of this equation, and I'll find the equation whose roots are 3 minus alpha, 3 minus beta, 3 minus gamma, 3 minus delta. Let's do that. So let us find the equations whose roots are 2 times, no? So 2 alpha, 2 beta. Why I am doing this, I'll tell you. 2 alpha, 2 beta, 2 gamma, 2 delta, and also find the equation whose roots are 3 minus alpha, 3 minus beta, 3 minus gamma, and 3 plus delta, or 3 minus delta. So let's do this. Easy, not that difficult. So let us find the first equation. So the equation whose roots are 2 alpha, 2 beta, 2 gamma, 2 delta is this. You know how to find the equation? I have already given you the rule. So the leading coefficient should be 1. It is already 1, and then you multiply this by 2, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 to the power 4. So is x to the power 4, right, minus 2 2 into 4x cube minus 2 square into 4x square minus 2 cube into 4x minus 2 to the power 4 into nothing. So into 5 equals to 0. So this was a rule to get an equation whose roots are double the roots of the original equation, or x to the power 4. You may also write y if you want. I am writing in terms of x only. Minus 8x cube minus 4 4 is 16x square minus 8 4 is 32x minus 16 5 is 80. So this is some equation, I am marking it as 1, whose roots are 2 alpha, 2 beta, 2 gamma, 2 delta. So x to the power 4 minus 8x cube and 16x square had to be So you also know this, how to find an equation whose roots are this way. You will call this as y or x, whatever you like. I am taking x only. So x equals to 3 minus alpha. So alpha will be equal to 3 minus x. Again I am repeating, we just take this as x. You find out the value of alpha prime here. So what will be alpha? So alpha will be 3 minus x. Because alpha is the root of this equation. Alpha is the root of this equation. So everywhere you will put alpha, and then alpha is nothing but 3 minus x. So I will directly write it down. Wherever there is x, I will write here 3 minus x. So let's do it. So the equation whose roots are 3 minus alpha, 3 minus beta, 3 minus gamma, 3 minus delta is this equation. So wherever there was x, you have to put 3 minus x there. So 3 minus x whole to the power 4 minus 4 into 3 minus x whole cube minus 4 into 3 minus x whole square minus 4 into 3 minus x, and then it was minus 5. Minus 5 equals to 0. So either you use synthetic division, but be very careful while using the synthetic division. Here you have to replace x by, so to replace, you have minus x, 3 minus, so to replace x by basically minus x minus, no, plus 3. You have to replace x by 3 minus x in simple words. That means you will divide by 3 minus x equals to 0, or in simple words, you will divide by 3 only. Yeah, you will divide by 3 only. But better use the binomial expansion and solve it. Binomial expansion will not be that difficult. So I am not doing it. You will do it. I have already taught you how to expand this. It will come something like this. But you please check, because I have already taught you how to do this. X to the power 4 minus 8x cube plus 14x square plus 28y minus 80 equals to 0. You should get something like that, okay? Y to the power 4 minus, x to the power 4 minus 8x cube plus 14x square plus 28y minus 80 equals to 0. Okay? So this is some equation 2. Now, you see the relation was 2 alpha equals to 3 minus beta. So in simple words, this equation has a root 3 minus beta, and the previous equation has a root 2 alpha. And according to the given information, 2 alpha is same as 3 minus beta. So this root 2 alpha is same as the root 3 minus beta. That means this equation and this equation, they have a common root. Did you get my point? Because one root of that equation is 2 alpha and one root of this equation is 3 minus beta. And according to the question, 2 alpha is same as 3 minus beta. That means equation number 1 and equation number 2 has a common root. Did you understand my point? Why they have a common root? So this is the concept. So they have a common root, and how can we find the common root? By finding their HCF. Because if alpha is a common root to both of them, then x minus alpha will be a factor of both of them, and hence a factor of HCF. So our task is to find the HCF of the polynomials. We write both the polynomials, first polynomial and the second polynomial, this one without the zero is. So I will not find the polynomial, I will not find the HCF again, because I have already taught you how to find the HCF. You do it, you have the method of finding the HCF. The HCF will come as x plus 2. For sure, I have taught you how to find the HCF of polynomials. If you determine the HCF, oh sorry, this should be no, x, no? I got confused. Yeah. So I have taught you how to find the HCF. The HCF will be this. So therefore, x equals to minus 2 is a common root. Is a common root to equation number 1 and also to equation number 2. So I have determined the common root to both the polynomials. This is a common root. So therefore, which roots were common? 2 alpha was same as 3 minus beta, and both of these roots are equal to minus 2. Right? Because this is a common root to both the equations, and this 2 alpha was the root of the first one, which is common to 3 minus beta. So these two common roots are same as minus 2. So what is the value of alpha that I am getting from here? This equals to minus 2, so alpha equals to minus 1 and beta equals to 5, right? Beta equals to 5. So you see, I have got the two roots to the original equation. Don't forget that alpha and beta were the roots of the original equation, right? So because alpha equals to minus 1 is a root, so alpha plus 1 will be a factor of the original equation, and x minus 5 will also be a factor of the original equation. So therefore this is a factor of x to the power 4. What was the original equation? Minus 4x cubed minus 4x square minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so we are almost done. So if two roots are known, so you can divide by this. So after dividing, the question will be, so x plus 1, x minus 5 will be there. The question will be, you divide this by this because this is a factor of this, right? This is a factor of this, so you can divide. And what will be the question? So the question that will come as x square plus 1. That is again up to you. So because this is a factor of this, you multiply this. After multiplying, you divide this by this. You determine the question. So question is this equals to 0. To solve it, therefore, from here I am already getting minus 1. From here I am already getting 5. From here I am getting root over of minus 1, that is plus I or minus I. So I comma minus I. So these are the roots of the original equation. So if you have any doubts, you may ask, but from exam's point of view, this is one of the most important questions that is asked from transformation of equations. So here we end transformation, and here we start something called as reciprocal equation. So what is meant by a reciprocal equation? So reciprocal equation simply means that if alpha is the root of my equation and 1 by like sorry, reciprocal equation basically means that if for any, like if alpha is the root of my equation, then 1 by alpha must also be the root of that equation. That means for any root which is there, alpha is reciprocal should also be a root of that equation. Then we call that equation a reciprocal equation. So a polynomial equation is said to be a reciprocal equation if the reciprocal of each of its roots is also a root of it. So when will I call my equation a reciprocal equation? When the reciprocal of each of my roots is again the root of the original equation. That means for any alpha which is a root of the equation, 1 by alpha must also be a root of that equation. So for any root, its reciprocal is also a root in simple words, and hence the name reciprocal equation. So definitely a necessary condition to be a reciprocal equation is that no root of the equation should be 0. Because if any root is becoming 0, its reciprocal is undefined, which cannot be its root. So if 0 is the root of your equation, if 0 is root of some given equation, then that equation cannot be a reciprocal equation. So that I'll write as a note for this. A necessary condition for fx equals to 0 to be a reciprocal equation is that f0 means this putting here 0. So 0 is not a root, that means f0 should not be 0. So if you have some equation for which 0 is a root, then that equation cannot be a reciprocal equation. So the first necessary condition to be a reciprocal equation is that 0 should not be its root. Now let me just give you a very simple thing. I'll explain more, but let's see. Let me write something. X to the power 4 minus x cube minus x minus 1 equals to 0. So look at this equation. It's not visible properly. Hold on. So x to the power 4 minus x cube minus x minus 1 equals to 0. So I am asking you whether this is a reciprocal equation or not a reciprocal equation. So one way is that you find all the roots. If each roots are like, if for any root alpha, 1 by alpha is also a root, then you can conclude that that is a reciprocal equation. But it is not possible to solve the equation all the time, right? So what is the another way? This is the equation. We know by transformation how to find the equation whose roots are reciprocal of the original equation. Right? We know how to find an equation whose roots are reciprocal roots of the original equation. So the equation whose roots are reciprocal roots of 1 is this. What to do? You rewrite the coefficients, right? So here the you rewrite the coefficient in the reverse direction. So here the coefficients are 1, -1, 0, -1, -1. Hold on. No, I have written something wrong. It's +1 here, okay? So 1. So what we do, we rewrite the equation in the opposite direction. That means is x to the power 4, you rewrite in the opposite direction this way. Minus x cube, no need to write 0x square, then minus x plus 1. And you see something interesting, that the equation whose roots are reciprocal roots of this equation is same as this equation. Right? So what do we understand from here? I can clearly conclude that every root of this equation is, suppose if alpha is the root of this equation, then 1 by alpha will also be the root of that equation, because the equation whose roots are reciprocal roots of this original equation is the same one. So I can conclude that this is a reciprocal equation. We'll give you a more easy way to determine, but first to understand this reciprocal equation. So one way of determining whether my equation is a reciprocal equation or not, you find out the equation whose roots are the reciprocal of the original equation. So if both the equations are coming identical, that means this equation, if alpha is the root of this equation, then 1 by alpha will also be the root of this equation. By this condition, because both of this, the equation whose roots are the reciprocal of this equation, both are identical. That means whenever alpha is a root, 1 by alpha is also a root of this, because it's reciprocal. Therefore, because the equation whose roots are reciprocal of the original equation is same as this. So did you understand my point up to here? Let's do things in general. That means let's see what can be done when I have some general equation. I'll use the same technique that I used here. Okay, I'll use the same technique that I used here. So let's do it. So let fx equals to 0 be a reciprocal equation. Just see this. Let this be a reciprocal equation of degree in having roots alpha 1, alpha 2, ... alpha n. Okay, let phi x equals to 0 be a equation whose roots are 1 by alpha 1, 1 by alpha 2, ... 1 by alpha n. Then the equations fx equals to 0 and phi x equals to 0 are identical. So this is what we have done here. This and the equation whose roots are the reciprocal roots of this equation, both must be identical. So this is what I have done here, and that's what I have written here, right? So if this equation has roots alpha 1 to alpha n, and this has the roots 1 by alpha 1, 1 by alpha 2, ... 1 by alpha n, then the equation this and this reciprocal one must be identical. Okay, so let's see what can be done more, or what can be said more. So now you see what I'll do. Suppose this is some polynomial, let an x to the power n, no, we take a0, no, a0 x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power n minus 2 plus dot dot dot. The second last term is a n minus 1x, the last term is a n equals to 0. So now let this be a reciprocal equation. Okay. So it must be identical to the equation whose roots are the reciprocal of this root. So let us write that equation. So then if we call this as 1, then 1 is identical with, this, you see, identical with this equation. So what is the equation whose roots are the reciprocal roots of this equation? We write the coefficient in the opposite manner. That means an x to the power n. So an coefficient will be taken, then an minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 plus dot dot dot. The second last coefficient will be this a1 x to the power 1, and then the last coefficient will be a0. So this must be identical with this. Now you tell me, when are two equations identical? So let me ask you a simple thing. X square plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0. 2x square plus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. Are these two equations identical? X square plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0 and 2x square plus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. Are these two equations identical? So these two equations are identical because you can see, look at the coefficients 1 to 1 here, and the coefficients are just double here. So if I take the ratio, it is coming same, right? So I can say that, like, my point is not just ratio, my point is that these coefficients can be obtained by doubling the coefficients here. That means if I take 2 common, this is becoming this equation itself, right? So if these two equations are identical, so every coefficient here must be a scalar multiple of these coefficients, just using this fact. So from here what can I say? Therefore this coefficients, or this coefficient, you write any one of them. Suppose I am writing this coefficient only. So this coefficients a0, a1, a2 dot dot dot, an minus 1 and an, this coefficient will be same as some number k times this coefficients an minus 1 dot dot dot, a1, a0, right? For k not equals to 0 and k is a real number. So because these two equations are identical, so their coefficients will be a scalar multiple of this coefficient, or vice versa. It is same as saying this. That means a0 will be same as kan, a1 will be same as kan minus 1, and so on. So I have written in a very compact manner. Now let's see what happens. So therefore a0 must be same as kan, look at this and this, and let's take the last one. So an must be same as ka0, right? So from here what can you get? Can you tell me? a0 must be same as kan using the first condition, and an must be same as ka0, this is the second condition. So you tell me, what can you say about k? from here you should get k equals to 1 or minus 1. You see how? You have a0, you can just derive it from here. Why the only possible values of k is 1 or minus 1, you can see from here. See, a0 equals to k times an. What is an? It is ka0. So this implies a0 equals to k square a0. I am definitely a0 cannot be 0, so I can cancel a0 from both sides. What am I getting? K square equals to 1. So k square equals to 1 means k can be either 1 or minus 1. K can be 1 or minus 1. Okay. So for this to be a reciprocal equation, what have we understood? This coefficients will either be same, this coefficient should either be same, or this can be negative of this. This can be negative of this. So two cases may arise. So for k equals to 1, so what are we getting for k equals to 1? The coefficients must be same. Which coefficients? a0 will be same as an, a1 must be same as an minus 1, a2 must be same as an minus 2, dot dot dot, an minus 1 should be same as a1, and so on. So for k equals to 1, a0 must be same as an, a1 is same as an minus 1, dot dot dot, then again an minus 1 is same as a1, and lastly an is same as a0. So this condition must hold for when k is equals to 1, and that equation is a reciprocal equation. So what we write here, the coefficients of equidistant terms, from the beginning and the end, are equal in magnitude. Okay, and have the same sign. That means the first one is same as the last coefficient. So this is what I have written here. So the first coefficient is same as the last coefficient. The second coefficient is same as the second last coefficient. The third coefficient is same as the third last coefficient. So what I have written here, the coefficient of the equidistant terms from the beginning and the end. So first term from the beginning, first term from the end, they are same. Second term from the beginning, second term from the end, they are equal. Third term from the beginning, third term from the end, they are equal. Equal both in magnitude and have the same sign. So for k equals to 1, this happens, and this kind of equation is known as reciprocal equation of first type. Reciprocal equation of first kind or first type, first class. First type, we also say our first class. So if the coefficients from the beginning and from the end, if they are equal in magnitude and opposite in same in sign, then that kind of reciprocal equation is called as the reciprocal equation of first type. Okay, this is called as the reciprocal equation of first type. And let's do it for when k equals to minus 1. Let's k equals to minus 1. So when k equals to minus 1, so for k equals to minus 1, what will happen? The first coefficient is negative of the last coefficient. The second coefficient is a negative of the second last coefficient, and so on. So this will again be same as minus a1, and then it will be same as an is same as minus a0. So whenever this happens, that means the coefficients are equal in magnitude from the beginning and from the end, but they are opposite in sign. Okay, then that is known as reciprocal equation of first kind. Second kind, sorry, second kind. So the coefficients of equidistant terms from the beginning and from the end, from the beginning and from the end, from the beginning and from the end are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. To keep that in mind, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in signs. So that is known as reciprocal equation of second kind or second type, anything you can have, second type or class. Excuse me, just a minute. Okay, so to be a reciprocal equation, one of the two things must happen. The coefficients from the beginning and from the end must be equal in magnitude. Okay, that is for sure. So if they are same in sign, then it is a reciprocal equation of first kind. If they are opposite in sign, then it is a reciprocal equation of second kind. So example, let's take this example. 3x cube minus 13x square plus 13x minus 3 equals to 0. So let's write down the coefficients. So the coefficients are 3 minus 13, 13 and minus 3. So look at the coefficients, this and this. So they are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. So what can I say? This is a reciprocal equation for sure, equation of second kind or second type. Did you get my point? But if I give you another example, if I show you another example, maybe this. Yes, so if I am showing you this example, x to the power 4 minus x cube minus x plus 1 equals to 0. So let's see this example. What are the coefficients? Here the coefficient is 1, then x cube coefficient is minus 1, then x square is absent, that means 0, 0, then minus 1 and then 1. So look at the coefficient, this and this are same, this and this are same, and this is same as itself, right? Because it is equidistant from the beginning as well from the end. So again, the coefficients from the beginning, from the beginning and from the end are equal in magnitude and same in sign. Same in sign means this two must have the same sign, this two must have the same sign, and this should have same sign with this. So this is a reciprocal equation of first type. Did you get it? Any confusion, any doubts? Just one more example. Number 3. Look at this one. X to the power 4 minus x cube plus x square plus x minus 1 equals to 0. So if I write down the coefficients 1, minus 1 sorry, 1 1 minus 1. So this has this, their magnitudes are same but opposite in sign. Okay, magnitude is same, opposite in sign, but look here. So to be of second, this is definitely of second kind if possible, because 1 is same as minus, sorry, the first coefficient and the last coefficient, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. So it cannot be a first type for sure. So this is again same as opposite of this one. But what about 1? The ones, there should be one more coefficient, but it is not given. Because 1 should be same, there should be another one having minus 1. So this is not a reciprocal equation. This is not a reciprocal equation. Again I explain reciprocal equation. So the condition was this should have the opposite sign with this one, this should have the opposite sign with this one, and this should have an opposite sign with this one, but that is not possible. Okay, so definitely this is not a reciprocal equation. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts, any confusion, you can ask. Thank you.